Alright guys, so today we have an HD shot, basically a cleaned up shot of the 12 God revelation that we got in the trailer that came out in Jump Festa for the upcoming arc of Dragon Ball Super. We actually have a super high quality shot. Now, normally, I just do face cam or whatever, but I actually wanted to take a little more in-depth look because, to be honest with you, majority of these people are cloaked, so all we get really is shapes and shit like that, but we can see a little bit and get a little bit of an idea of what these guys are at the very least seeming like or whatever. So on this side, as you can see, you got Beerus right here, and then you got Supreme Kai or Kaioshin or whatever. Obviously, this is the representation for Universe 7, and seemingly, based on what I can tell and everything, based off the trailer and stuff like that, it seems as though we have one God, one Kai, one God, one Kai. So everybody that's gathered here is a God, a Kai, a God, a Kai, and then on this side, we got Champa, and even though he kind of looks a little bit like Beerus, you could kind of tell he's more round because, he's a big dude, so you can tell that's Champa. So the biggest revelation of the character design we got is seemingly the Supreme Kai or the Kaioshin for Universe 6, and that's this guy right here. I don't know if you can see the pointer or not, but you got this guy right here, and he kind of looks like Champa in a way, so maybe it's fitting or whatever. I'm assuming that's the whole gag right there because, hey, Champa's fat, he's fat or whatever. So that's the revelation we got right there. Other than that, a lot of them are just cloaked. I think all of them are cloaked actually, but you can kind of see, okay, like for example, this big dude right here is interesting. I'm kind of curious if that's going to be the Kai or the God. I'm imagining it's going to be the God because it looks as though the Kais are in like this gray or black hoodie or whatever, and then the gods are in the white. So right there, that giant motherfucker, whatever he is, he's going to be a god. And I'm kind of curious again, like, why the fuck is he so big? What is going to be his strength? So unfortunately, we don't get that much from this big reveal trailer, but I mean, you can see his fucking giant fist right there because they all have their fists out and shit like that. So you can see, like, over here, you got a dude with tiny hands and so on and so forth. So not that much. I mean, we see them all gathered up, right? Like they're all together, whatever, but we don't get that much other than this guy right here, the Kai or the Supreme Kai of Universe 6 is pretty much the only one that we really get to see his face and stuff like that. But I think out of everybody, maybe it's just because of the size or whatever, I'm kind of curious what the fuck this guy is all about. This big dude right here is like, he's the size of a fucking giant. I don't know, maybe he's like a half elephant because you got to think, okay, if Beerus and Champa are kind of like, jackals or, they have that Anubis, god of Anubis or whatever look, then maybe they can be thematically like the creatures from the Egyptian history and stuff like that. So maybe he can be something like that. I don't know. Either way, like, you could definitely see that that's the biggest guy. We got that, and then of course they all have their Kai. So it seems as though each universe is going to have a representative for their Supreme Kai. That's going to be deadly because you do got to remember the fact that anything happens, and especially if some of these people are going to play dirty, which it's a tournament, a lot of times people will play dirty. Yeah, all they got to do is go after the Kai. You get rid of the Kai, then the god is fucked. So I'm imagining in this tournament we're going to see more of that. But yeah, this is the big revelation right here, and let's talk a little bit more about everything we know regarding this arc and a little bit more information as well. But yeah, sick fucking pick. Okay, so now that we got that revelation, we got that information out the way, let's talk a little bit about what I saw in the trailer and what I was talking about in my initial video a few days back when I was talking about how the Grand Priest, aka Whis and Vados' father, had an ominous look to him. He kind of looked a little bit like, is there something going on with this dude? Like, there's theories that people are saying that potentially he could have some involvement with the assassination of Goku. I don't know if that's going to really hold any weight because it seems as though that particular arc is anime only, and a lot of anime only stuff doesn't really transition into, ongoing things later on. So there's a possibility that could have nothing to do with what's about to happen in this tournament. But it did show as though the Grand Priest has something up his sleeve. Now, you got to think, the Omni-King, well, there's two of them now, whatever, there's two Zenos basically, but the Omni-King, he looks like he's a little guy. Maybe he's really, really intelligent, but he looks as though maybe there's a possibility he's kind of like an infant in a way because he does want to play or whatever, but ultimately he still has that role and that authority. What if the reason he's in this role is probably a birthright, something along the lines of that? Because let's look at the structure that we have right here, because we have seemingly the Omni-King at the top of it all, and then you have the Grand Priest, which is Whis and Vados' father, and then of course you got Whis and Vados that are angels, and then you have the gods, and then you have, so on and so forth, the Supreme Kais, and then the Kais of each, there's a large structure that leads down to Kami on Earth, so there's a huge structure, whatever. But what if there's a possibility, I know this is crazy theory time, that the Omni-King is not truly the Omni-King? If Zeno's not truly the Omni-King, what if there's a possibility that the Omni-King, Zeno, is actually the Grand Priest's son, and by birthright possibly, he's the one running the show? What if Whis and Vados is his actual brothers and sisters? I mean, it could be that they don't address it, it could be something totally different, but there's a possibility that he could be running the show simply because of a birthright, and the Grand Priest is actually the brains behind all of this, and he's kind of pushing things. I mean, if we're gonna have a major villain in this upcoming arc, somebody that has already been revealed, which it could very well be that it's somebody that hasn't been revealed. I mean, there's a lot of gods and a lot of Kais that are about to be introduced in this upcoming arc, so crazy shit. But if potentially there's a villain that we already know of, then who better than it to be the Grand Priest? And it also could explain why Vados is such a fucking devious piece of shit. We found out in the latest episode at the very least, which might hold some weight again in the upcoming events, we don't know, that Vados was the one that took orders and then sent down, you know, through the rabbit hole or whatever, the hit on Goku. So knowing that information, you gotta think, well, if she's kind of devious and Whis has his little ways as well, where are they gonna get that from? There's a possibility the Grand Priest could be similar to that, but maybe even deeper than that. He could possibly be something a lot more evil or something. So there's a possibility there. And my whole theory is basically the Grand Priest is essentially the father of it all. Maybe he passed on his throne of being the Omni-King to Zeno, and Zeno could potentially be the little brother of Whis and Vados, which I guess now would be two little brothers because there's two of them. And I'm kind of curious if there's going to be any friction between the two of them, because you got to think, these are two little fucking things that have the power to destroy a universe at will. Like, hey, you know, it fucking stinks in this area and just destroy everything. Why the fuck not, right? So if he has this incredible power and they have some sort of conflict, imagine what could happen to the entire fucking existence of everything if Zeno and Zeno go at each other. Like, that's insane. So you got to think that the Grand Priest is also trying to dial everything together. There has to be somebody, a balance of everything, because you also have those two bodyguards that are on each side of Zeno in the picture or whatever. So there's a lot of things that have to go into this. Honestly, I'm kind of curious to see where it's all going to go regarding the Grand Priest, if he's going to actually be evil, because that trailer was hinting some shit. I'm just saying. And also, if the Omni-King is a little kid, who put him in that position to begin with? I mean, has he been around for many years and he's just still with a childlike mind, similar to kind of like how Goku has that childlike nature, but at the same time, you know, at the drop of a hat, he could get serious? Because Omni-King is like, he's childlike and, you know, he likes to play or whatever, but at the same time, he also has that mentality of like, I'll fuck shit up if need be. So it kind of makes me interested as well. I'm kind of curious what you guys think. Do you think possibly the Grand Priest could very well end up being the big villain of all this? Do you think that he's actually in charge of all this behind the scenes, the true Omni-King above Zeno and Zeno? Because who's running the show there? Like, these are two little toddlers that want to play and shit like that. So kind of makes you question, like, I mean, they don't look exactly like him, but they do have a blue sort of face, and I know we're grasping at straws at that point when we're comparing character designs, but you never know. Zeno could be Whis and Vados' younger brother that just happens to be the correct amount of power, because you got to think, if the Grand Priest is stronger than Whis and Vados, and Omni-King is above him, maybe that's the reason. Maybe because Zeno was born with such strength, it's like, no, that's the proper successor to the throne. And your overall thoughts of all this? What do you think about those character designs that we've seen? Do you think that that big motherfucker that we see in the corner is going to be like the most savage of them all? Or if it's Toriyama, and we know Toriyama, he likes the jokes, he'll make that guy have a squeaky voice and something totally opposite, kind of like Pika in One Piece, if you see some One Piece. And how much are you looking forward to this upcoming arc? Because I mean, it's going to be insane. But let's quickly read some of the info we got about this upcoming arc as well, some tidbits. Original story and character drafts by Akira Toriyama. That's great to hear. And then throughout the trailer, it showed, you know, the God of Destruction arc, Golden Frieza arc, Universe 6 arc, Future Trunks arc, so we already know all that good stuff. Then Goku and the Omni-King's promise. Goku says, huh, what happened? Shakes. Omni-King says, yeah, let's do it. So they're referring to, I guess, the preparation for the tournament, like it's about to go down. Every universe, all the gods of destruction and Kaioshin assemble. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's talk about that real quick. All the gods of destruction. So are all these gods of destruction? They're not just gods of different things, because when we first heard about all these universes and all these gods, I was assuming that the god of destruction would be maybe for universe 7 and 6, but then maybe universe 1 and 12 or something like that would be totally different gods, maybe like the god of love, the god of greed, something like that. So seemingly it's the gods of destruction that are the gods of every universe. So Kind of interesting. I mean, you could have easily implied that based on how the information we've been getting for a while now in the anime and manga, but it's nice to get a confirmation seemingly that are all gods of destructions and they're Kaioshin. And an inter-universe martial arts competition is announced. The Tournament of Power. Each universe has 10 representatives. Okay, that makes sense because we seemingly have 10 people representing Universe 7 between, Boo and all the other people that were announced. Losing universes are immediately annihilated. So it's confirmed that you lose, you die. Your whole universe is bye-bye. So there is no losing for Universe 7. They cannot lose because Zeno's gonna fuck them up, which kind of makes it, again, a little bit more of a darker tone and a little bit more ominous because it's not just a Universe 6, hey, this is for fun. You lose, fucking Vegeta loses, Bulma's dead. Like, so they're gonna be fighting with everything they have and then some, which also makes me believe that, yeah, we're gonna see probably more than just one god playing dirty. But also leads me to believe as well that there's gonna have to have some sort of conflict where they're gonna have to stop this because, let's be honest, this is an evil essentially in the universe that you're gonna destroy shit if you lose in a tournament. So that has to be addressed at some given point in this arc as well, which I'm starting to think that this is gonna be a very long arc. Because, quick tidbit as well, there's a new opening coming, which we've had the same opening, if I'm not mistaken, for already over 70 episodes. So if we're getting a new opening at that, we could possibly be in this upcoming arc for a very, very long time. The Ultimate Martial Arts Tournament begins with the survival of their own universes on the line. The curtain rises on the new chapter, Universe Survival Arc, airing on Fuji TV, 9 a.m., blah, blah, blah. So we already know all that good stuff. But yeah. Crazy info. I can't fucking wait. Again, questions. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. How do you feel regarding that? You lose, your whole fucking universe is bye-bye. You think we're going to get a lot of people playing dirty? And again, your thoughts on the revelations that we got seemingly on the gods and the gods of destruction with their Kai and stuff like that. Do you think that big motherfucker is going to be funny or he's just going to be a monster? And what do you think about the revelation of Champa's Supreme Kai from his universe as well? Kind of interesting to note that, hey, he's fat too. Why not? But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.